This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, everybody. We are 2 minutes away from starting. It is now 8:50 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so California time, and we will be starting this Power Monday Mastermind conference call just momentarily, and at 9 o'clock, a minute away from now. So I appreciate your patience, and hopefully you're going to get something out of this call, as I hope you do on every call. All righty. We're almost there. So for those of you who have, I'm sharing my screen. So for those of you who logged in through the computer, you'll be able to see my screen and see some of the things that I'm talking about. And for those of you who are on the phone, I'll try to do my best to explain to you what's actually showing up on the screen. Very, very important. So, we're just a few minutes away, another minute away from starting. And it is actually 9 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So thank you to the people that are on the call. I appreciate it. And at the end of the call, I'm going to do something kind of awesome for the people that have joined us on this call today. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is for those of you who were on the call last week, I was talking a lot about you have everything that you need right now to get started. All you need to do is go out and buy some information, glean some information from somewhere, and just start whatever it is that you're going to do, whatever kind of business you're going to do, or place that you think you can make some money. Just do it. So with staying with the theme from last week, just as an example, I want to add this in. So there's a guy that was on one of the Power Monday Mastermind calls. His name was Marlon McKinney. And so Marlon and I have done business, periodically back and forth for, I don't know, X amount of years. Let's call it 5 years. And so Marlon came to me, bought one of my products for whatever it was, $3,000 or something or another. I think I actually gave it to him on a sell price, but it was my $3,000 product, and he bought it from me on sale for whatever that was. I don't really recall. And so subsequently, if he has something that I'm interested in because he's bought from me, I've been bought from him. And Marlon has raised like $1 million in business credit. So both business credit, meaning credit that is granted to his business where he or someone else is involved in the business as a guarantor. Also corporate credit, where the credit that is given is based purely on the good standing of the corporation, and neither he nor anyone else has to put up their personal credit, their social, in order to obtain credit. So, Marlon and I both many years ago learned from, the same person, which was a guy by the name of Ray Reynolds, right? So, this is 20 plus years ago. And then subsequently, Marlon had kept up his education and had learned even more from another company. I can't think of the guy's name, but they have a company called Credit Suites, right? And so, this guy that started and also another person that was also on one of the calls doing some speaking. I am having brain fade. It'll come to me. But anyways, another individual that I had on the call, talking about business credit and what have you, he also learned from these people over at Credit Suites. And so I'm always buying information, as you've heard me mention many times. But I want you guys to catch something. This is hugely important, that you guys understand what I'm about to lay out to you. So both, Marlon and I want to say Joel, but yeah, Andrew. Good Lord, I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. But Marlon and Andrew both also were doing business with these people called Credit Suites, and I'm, like I said, I always like to learn, and so I buy a lot of information, buy a lot of people's stuff, and so I ended up telling Marlon, you know what, I think I'll drop the several $1,000s and go through Credit Suites as well, and learn the stuff that you and Andrew have learned. And so Marlon was like, dude, you know what? You can just come through me, and I can save you some money, and we'll make it happen. So that was, let's call that a year ago. And so I gave Marlon $2,000 or $3,000 to go through him so he can make a commission or however it works, and then subsequently I would still gain the knowledge and information that I was looking for. And so a year later, so let's call it, a month ago, I had decided to see what these people are talking about, because I've already spent the money, already got hooked up with them, and I would look into their websites, because the way Marlon did it was he put me as like a broker under him, and also as like just a regular client. So I get to see both versions of their website, right? So they have a broker version of their website and also a customer version of their website that you can see. And so the thing is that I decided, I was like, well, I need to find new places for my clients to get money through, right? So for my business credit building program, I need to find new places to, to go through for my clients. And so I said, well, let me, because they're constantly contacting me, but let me go ahead and reply to them and see what they're talking about. And so I replied to them, and lo and behold, I ended up talking to one of their sales reps, and he's like, oh yeah, we can get you X amount of dollars, and I'm looking at your credit file, so on and so forth. And so bottom line is that with them, with this dude looking at my credit file, he's like, I can probably get you, like 200 grand in loans, right? So I don't want them to do any type of credit cards or anything for me, but just in loans, right? So that way I can learn who they're using for as lenders. Very important. I want to know who they're using as their lenders. And so I can then subsequently turn around, and as I told you guys last week, I buy information so I can turn around and sell that information, right? That's it. That's the name of what I do. I buy information, then make money on that information by reselling that information. And I do that with everything that I'm into. Or I'll buy products, right, at wholesale, and then turn around and resell those products at a retail price. So that's how I make my money. Long story short, you guys, is that it blew my mind, because once I started dealing with this guy that worked for the company, then he says, hey, I have some people that I'm going to send you through, and they're actually going to help you with the loan. And so I'm like, so you guys don't actually do the loans? And they're like, no. We have different people that will send you through to do the loans. And so I'm thinking to myself, here's this company that is literally making tens of millions of dollars a year, and they're outsourcing all their stuff. You know what I mean? And that's what just really hit me, is that, I know that I'm on the right path in doing what I do, because, they're literally not doing any of the work. They're bringing in the clients. They're getting people in to their flow stream, into their stream, as well as selling the game, right? Because they'll allow you to come on as a broker. So they're making all this upfront money, and then subsequently they're just outsourcing it. So they turn me on to this guy named Joe, and I'm talking to Joe. Joe's like, well, yeah, I'm looking at your credit, and I'm this, that, and the other, and lo and behold, Joe says, well, look, I'm going to turn you over to my processor. So I'm like, okay, well, damn it. This is like, from this huge company that's killing the game. They're making money, tens of millions of dollars, right? He has the primary company. They have, I think it's somewhere around 2,000 brokers, right, that are sending them business month in and month out. And then, so that means they're making crazy money, right? And then the way it works with them is every time a broker has a client, the broker will pay money, right? So let's call it $1,000. The broker will pay them $1,000, and then they will take care of the client for them. All right. So the broker can charge whatever, and then just turn it over to them, and then they'll take care of the client for it. But what actually ends up happening is they then turn that client, so they'll do like the basic customer service stuff, and they are very good about calling you constantly, very good about calling you, staying in touch with you constantly, and that I give them a lot of props for. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, to the actual work, they send you to people like this Joe guy. And so I'm like, that's really interesting. You see how this is working, you guys? I hope you do. So then I'm talking to this Joe guy, and he says, hey, there's a girl named Jackie, who's my processor, who's going to call you, and she's going to be the one that all the stuff gets run through, right? And so I end up talking to this young lady, Jackie, and I'm inquisitive, right? Because I always want to know where the buck stops. Who is it that I need to befriend, become extremely friendly with in order to, really learn the game from them, right? That is my biggest thing. Is I'm nice to everyone. I try to treat everyone with the respect that they treat me with, but ultimately, at the end of the day, where am I going to get my best value from? So 3 levels now, right? So I'm talking to this young lady, and come to find out, excuse me, that the Joe guy doesn't even do his own work. He doesn't do it, nor does he care to do it. He outsources everything to this company to have it done. And they're just like, that's phenomenal. That is absolutely bonkers and phenomenal. And so I make it a point to laugh and joke with this young lady, to, just to be as friendly as I can be with her, and therefore, she starts, giving me the goods. I'm like, okay, well, so how is this working? Who am I working with? And she said to me, well, we're the company that does processing for a lot of companies like this Joe guy's company. We work with a lot of companies. She said, her words, we are the brains behind most of these companies that are out there getting people loans, because their whole job is to go out and find companies across the country that are giving out loans, that are doing, that are putting money out there. That's their whole job. And they learn the processes for these various companies, right? And so therefore they know how to do all the work. So you have all of these companies that are out there, like the very first one that I started with, that I paid Marlon to hook me up with, gave Marlon a few grand, to hook me up with him, so he could make some money, and then come to find out that this company, they have all the customer service stuff, they have the websites, they have all that crap. They literally have all that lined up, but then at the end of the day, they put out I'm sorry, they don't put out, but they give someone else the actual work. And then what's even funnier is that this person that they've given the work to doesn't even want to do it himself and hires them percentage-wise to do the work, right? So they end up getting money. And I'm just like, okay, so what I do is more than right. What I do is in my opinion, is even greater than that. And it's the same thing that I was trying to explain to you all that you can do. All you have to know is just a piece of the game. Find people that can do your back end stuff. Like I explained to you all last week, I don't give a crap about building websites, but I have a ton of websites. I have Sean do that. I hire Sean. He works for me and he works for a bunch of other people, and he builds my websites for me. So anytime I have a client that needs a website, I pay Sean to do it. I don't give a crap about learning how to build a website. It's a waste of my time, effort, and energy. My time, effort, and energy should be placed on generating capital. That's it. All the back end stuff, what do I need that for? In this company that's making tens of millions of dollars literally per year proves out what I've been telling you all, is that you don't need to know the whole game. You don't need to know it all. You need to find the people that do know it all. You learn as much as you can from them, and then subsequently, learn the sales part of it. Sell people on what you're on the package, on the process. Sell people on whatever it is that you're offering. I don't care what business it is that you're in. Everybody knows what my businesses are for the most part anyway. But it's all about selling the process. That's literally it. And I'm going to give you guys even more examples, of that, right? So I have a website, and I'm going to that website right now. And the website is called Envious Treats. So anybody that wants to look it up, you can go to the website. It's envioustreats.com, and its spelling is ENVIOUS, and then TREATS.com. So envioustreats.com. And the reason I wanted to pull this website up, which is one of our websites that we own, is because it's kind of like the same thing with this website that we own, Envious Treats, right? Look, when I got into this, marketing, right, for products, there's a guy, he has videos on YouTube constantly, and so, I bought his program. I bought it as a $2,000 program. I bought the program, and I was like, okay, cool. And I bought it because they allowed me to make payments on it. I gave them $500 a month for 4 months or whatever. And so within that program, though, what I found out is that the people that were teaching the program were literally like the ones giving up all the information. So what he would do is he was selling the program, right? The $2,000 program. He was selling that program. I bought that program from him, and then he would subsequently pay out other people to teach the courses in his $2,000 program. And so one of the people teaching the courses was a young man named Mason. And then Mason had a $5,000 program, right? And Mason's program, I went ahead and bought it. I had the money. I bought his program. And I already had a website built. So the website you see now is a website that they built for me, Mason and his team. And, once again, I'm talking to this young man, Mason, and I'm asking him questions. And first of all, I hate the way he does business, because he's a millennial, and he doesn't believe in talking on the phone to you. Everything has to be this dumbass Facebook Messenger or texting. And I'm like, dude, I paid you $5,000, so I should be able to talk to your ass when I want to. And, at least during business hours. So, but millennials. So my thing is though, even in this program, I ended up talking to the people. So he outsourced the development of this website to whoever's looking at it, envioustreats.com. He outsourced the development of that website. Okay, so he outsourced it, probably paid the guy, I don't know, $500 to set it up within Shopify, right? And once again, we already had the site set up. Obviously, you know, they did make it look a lot better, but we did have a site set up. Also, within that $2,000 program that I bought, this website had we bought within that $2,000 program. It had another program that we were able to access for free, free to me, not technically free, because out of that $2,000, this guy paid these people who have this awesome program, which allows me on this website to go into AliExpress and just click on an item. And when I click on an item, it'll transfer everything about that item, into my website. Does that make sense? So I don't even have to pull anything together for my for this website. If I see an item that I like, all I have to literally do is just go to AliExpress or Etsy, and I just utilizing that program that came with the $2,000 I spent. It will automatically just pull everything into my website, meaning that I don't have to, like there, I just pulled up an item, a little piece, I don't know, some clothing, right? And it says, I'm not a morning person on the t-shirt. So it's like a little top. I didn't have to create anything, any pictures, anything. All we had to do is literally click the little button, pull everything over into the website. It does it all automatically. So yeah, it's better than the site that we had. But my point being to you guys is that, in all earnest, you have to get out of the mindset of, I got to know everything to start a business. I have to know everything to create something, because I'm telling you, I spent that first $2,000, then I subsequently, one of the teachers of that $2,000 program, I bought his stuff for $5,000, and really didn't learn any more than I learned from the first program. But the point is that what you will notice is that with all of these people that are out here making money, it's like they are starting where they're at, selling some stuff that's not even necessarily their stuff, and they're getting paid. They're getting broke off. And I know the first guy that I bought his $2,000 program, he's constantly bragging about how much money he's generating. So I believe it to be true. And more importantly, I know he's doing something right, because his advertisement on YouTube is constant and continuous. And you can't spend money on marketing like that unless you're making money. So I just wanted to kind of touch on what we talked about last week, because it's just hugely important to understand that wherever you guys are at right here, right now, you guys just start. Do something. You don't have to know everything. And that's real. You don't have to know everything. Just start some stuff. Find people that can do what you need them to do. In my arena, I don't like doing the credit repair, so I have someone else that works with me that does the credit repair for me, right? I charge $2,000, and I pay them a part of that money to do the credit repair. I know how to create CPNs from scratch. It's just a process. It's just a thing to do. But I have someone else do that for me. Does that make sense? And it costs me less than $10 per, and I retail them for $150. I hope you get that. You don't have to do everything to make money. And that CPN business alone makes me quite a bit of money, not including anything else I'm doing. Just that business alone makes me a lot of money. So online, I'm going to my CPN website. This website has been up for years and years and years. This website cost me just a couple few $100s, and it has been up for a long time, and it constantly makes me money. So whatever it is that you guys are going to do, just do it. Put up a website. This is not the most attractive website. You can look at it. It's not the most attractive website. I'm offering CPNs on this website, creditprofilenumbers.com, but ultimately, I do advertise other things that I do, right? So it's a CPN website, but I also, on this website, I sell the entire business. I tell people how they can buy the game from me, right? And that's important to do. I also mentioned that last week. That's very, very important to do, is to be able to sell the game, right? Learn something, not only deal with it with your retail customers, but figure out how you can have brokers, because the brokers are going to make you more money. Also figure out how you can sell the game in its entirety. I have two different people I know that in recent years have started and have successfully completed opening up group homes here in the state of California. And group homes are they're cash cows if they're run right. And so I have two different people that I know, but both of them had to pay people. So a partner of mine, Roy, he had to pay this lady $25,000 for her to teach him the game and walk him through the process of getting set up with the Secretary of State not Secretary of State, with the state of California to open up as a group home, right? And then there's Ann and Mike, the same thing with them. I think they paid like $30,000 to get set up, to have somebody walk them through the process. And come to find out, in both of those instances, even though these other people had the game, right? In both of those instances, it turned out to be a cluster. It just turned out to be a bad thing, because all those people are running their businesses, they don't keep up with all the new changes in actual the setup part, because they're not worried about that anymore. They're worried about the daily run of their businesses. And so, but they're still selling the game. They're already making 20, 30, 40 grand a month by having these group homes open, but they're also still selling the game to these other people that I happen to know. Does that make sense, everybody? You gotta position yourself. You gotta position yourself. There's just nothing more important. That's how I'm making my money, and I see that's how people that are doing 10,000 times better than I am are making their money. You have everything you need right at this very moment. I don't give a shit if you're flat broke. You have everything you need to start creating financial freedom for yourself, or at least start creating an income for yourself. So, but you got to believe that first. It's just real. You got to believe it, because if you don't believe it, then you're going to sit around with the woe with me bullshit, and it doesn't do you any good, right? I know exactly where I'm at, good, bad, or indifferent, is because of me, not because of somebody else. I'm, when I'm broke, when I'm effed up in the game, I'm trying not to cuss so much. It's because of me. It's because I know I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's I would venture to say, unless somebody has you locked in a cellar somewhere, you are where you are at because of you, not somebody else. So if you want to live effed up, broke as shit, then that's on you, right? Take responsibility for your fucked upness is what I'm trying to say. It's all about, what can I do to create money? Because I'm telling you, the people that do the best this seems to be the most desperate people. When I've been at my most desperate states has been when I've been able to manifest and then subsequently create something in order for me to get busy and make some money, because you're asking for it. So therefore your mind expands and opens up to all these possibilities around you. You start seeing all these little things I don't care if it's painting addresses on the curb. You start thinking about all these different things that because of being comfortable, you wouldn't think about before. And by the way, I used to paint addresses on the curb when I was, I don't know, like 18 or something, 18, 19, because I needed some money. And so I saw some people that had come around to our home doing it. And so I went out and did it. And I would make anywhere between $75 and $300 a day. I had to be out there the whole damn day, but I was still able to make it. And that's at $5 per, and sometimes $10 depending on what I was doing. $5 and $10 per. I was out there literally the whole day, but I was able to do it because I was in a desperate state. So you're able to do whatever it is that you want to if you just say, I got to make this shit happen. I got to do it. I don't have a choice. Stop making excuses like I do. I'm human. I make a lot of excuses. There's a lot of things I don't do. I get comfortable like everybody else. And when I get comfortable, I do less, which is really, really stupid because then, you have to understand, or I have to understand, just like the rest of you, is that getting comfortable when you don't have enough to retire on is a really stupid position to be in. So I'm going to move on now. I just wanted to kind of touch on what I was talking about last week about A, you have everything you need. B, all these other people out there that are doing big things, they're not doing the work themselves. They're finding people that they can piggyback on, but they are out there selling the game. They're out there selling a product or a service to make things happen. Right, so right now on the screen I have my Vanguard Global LLC website showing. And so with my Vanguard Global LLC website, it's my oldest business that I'm still actively pursuing. And on this website, it's biggest day. You can tell it's all about business, corporate, setting up corporations for people, getting business funding, and all this other good stuff. Right? That's what this website is about. I show my program on here for $4,999. I'll show people how to build business credit, and I'm going to give you guys like some real game right now. If you want to raise, this is what I'm telling you, this is part of what I charge people $5,000 for, and if you make payments to me, it ends up being $6,500. If you are interested in raising a bunch of capital for your business, A, get your credit right. B, find a credit partner. Right? Very important. Get your credit right. Or find a business credit partner. There are a ton of people that have good credit but no money. Good credit, no money. And they are like you, trying to do something, trying to create something. So if you can create or find an idea that's workable, that would make somebody say, okay, I can see that, right? If they don't have any money, then why wouldn't they get down with you? Why wouldn't they do some business with you? If they don't have any money and you have a good idea and they have credit, right? Why wouldn't they? If you have your own credit, all the better. All you have to do is utilizing their good credit, your good credit, is go out and listen, it's regional, it's local, there's money everywhere. So there's a person that was able to on a new bank in their area, which obviously wants business, right? To go out and get, I don't know what I think it's like 20 some odd grand. And that to me is a lot of money. To get $20K from some business, from some bank, that's a lot of money. But what you're going to have to understand is if you walk in and you have preferably a 700 plus FICO score, mid sevens, let's say, you're going to get some real money. But even let's say if you have a 680 FICO score, good debt to income ratio, you're still going to get money. you're still going to get money. And the idea is that when you're going out to get this money, you have to do what's referred to as future casting. Future casting is simple, and everybody does it in the business arena. Future casting is this, and I'm going to use an analogy that I always use, and I hope that you guys get this. If it were January 1, you know what? Scratch that. We're going to use today's date. Today is March 4th, 2019. And if you were filling out a credit application today, March 4th, 2019, and you're filling out that credit application, and they ask you, what do you earn annually? What are you going to put there? I mean, you don't have to say, but what would you put there? You're going to put whatever it is you did last year, which is, in actuality, it's erroneous. It's not true. You're going to put down, if you did hypothetically 50 grand last year, then you're going to put that $50,000 down, because they're asking you today, how much, right? How much money are you going to earn this year? What is your yearly income? And being March 4th, 2019, you would put down, I do $48,900. I do $50,000, or whatever it is, right? And it's utter BS, right? And the reason it's utter BS is because, I'm not wishing anything bad on anybody, but you could drop dead today. So it doesn't happen. You could lose your job today. If you lost your job, that $48,000, that $50 grand a year that you put on that application to get that car loan or get that credit card or whatever it is, it's not true, right? Because if you lost your job today, you're done today. You get it? You might have filled out that application before you lost your job and put down what you thought you were going to make, but the truth of the matter is, you're just guessing what you're going to make this year. And so if you're going to do that, do what businesses have done and will continue to do. Do what business people have done and will continue to do. Start future casting. Every business person that believes and says that they're in business and knows about business does it. Every corporation does it. Another similar example would be when corporations guess how much they're going to make, and then they put that out. They put, we anticipate our earnings to be, X, Y, or Z for the next quarter, and then their stock rises. Oh my God. Google who said that they think they're going to make an extra $5 a share. Let me go buy that crap. Right? So people run out and they buy the Google stock. And then all of a sudden something happens, and instead of gaining $5 per share, which was their estimate that they put out to the world, right? Their future casting that they put out to the world, they end up losing $5 a share, right? This is just hypothetical, okay? So now all of a sudden their stock drops. But they got the money that they needed to do whatever it is they needed to do. They got their stock price up to do whatever it is they were trying to do. Get their funding, get their this, get their that. Who in the hell knows? But what I do know is that every business person does it. So let me get to the point now. My point with you all is this. You have to do as business people do. If you want to say you're a business person, you want to raise capital for whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, then you need to act like you are a business person and do the things that they do. So if you're filling out an application and they say on this application, how much do you earn? Mrs. Johnson, Mr. Johnson, whomever, right? your answer should be somewhere around $100,000. Why not? Because you're just future casting. No different than when you put down what you made last year, like that's going to be what you make this year. What's the difference? It's January 4th. Remember, I'm sorry, it's March 4th. So, if you're going to put down something, why not put down something that's going to benefit you? Why not put down something that's going to behoove you, right? Start telling your story. Start telling the story that you want everyone to know. Because when it comes to credit, they know what you tell them. They know what you show them, nothing more. Does that make sense to you guys? I hope it does. Start telling your story in a different way. Start regularly. Every time you fill out an application, every time that you do something out in the world that you know is going to end up with the credit bureaus or with some other company like Core Logic or LexisNexis that do nothing but just collect your information, make sure that you're telling your story the way you want it to go, right? The way you want them to see you. And then you have to act upon that. So you can't say, I'm making, $138,600 and then subsequently, not live up to that, right? You can't, but I don't pay any of my bills. Then that story doesn't work. That story does not line up. Does that make sense to you guys? You gotta make sure your stories are lining up. You gotta make sure that, when you're saying that I make $98,000 a year instead of the $50 that you make, that your stuff starts to line up. Easy. You gotta do it that way. And that's how you can start funding anything that you want to fund. It's just a matter of telling your story. I had at one point in time 9 pieces of property, and those 9 pieces of property I was able to acquire. This was prior to 2008. Like a lot of folks had a lot of property back then. I was able to acquire it not because of what I was bringing in, it's because of the story I was telling. Does that make sense? You in the business arena, in the making money arena, in the going after and getting money arena, you have to decide what you want your story to be, and then start telling that story. Because it's all about positioning. Does anyone have any questions before I move on? There's people on the call, but you all are quiet. So I'm sorry. There's somebody. Let's see. Okay. Well, thank you. Whoever this is says, keep it coming. Great information. Blah blah blah. So, and I appreciate that. So when I'm dealing with my clients, yeah, absolutely, they get to learn more than what I'm telling you guys. Because, they've given me $5,000. But my point is to you is that you can take what I'm telling you right here, right now. You can take your personal credit if it's a decent FICO score and a decent debt to income ratio, or you can go out and start opening your mouth, because someone once told me a closed mouth don't get fed. Opening your mouth and talking to people about a business venture that you want to start, and that if they don't, it will not require $1 out of their pocket, right? And that's a key thing for people. You won't require $1 out of your pocket, but let's run your credit. You know what I mean? Let me run your credit. There's a guy that I learned that from, Jackass. making money, at least back in the day. I don't know what he's doing now. But this guy Thomas Kish, I bought his information twice. First time I bought it, I don't know. I paid, let's call it $1,400. And the second time I bought it, because they told me it was some different shit, it was $2,000. I got it, and I opened the package up thinking I was buying something different. It was the same BS. And then when I tried to return it, they were like, "Oh no, did you take the saran wrap off of it?" And I was like, "Of course. How am I going to know what it is unless I take the saran wrap off?" They're like, "Oh no, once you remove the saran wrap, as far as we know, you could have copied everything." Because this was back in the day when they were sending out CDs and paper, right? So, and so I was like, "Okay, I'm screwed," But the way he was doing his thing, because he was big in real estate investing, and so what Thomas Kish would do is listen to this, you guys. What Thomas Kish would do is he would go out and put on lectures, talks, seminars, put out marketing material in the news, a while ago. So in the newspapers and here and there, saying stupid stuff like, which obviously works, real estate investor looking to teach and train new partners. Think about the psychology behind that, right? Basic wording, man, but it makes sense because you know how many people want to be a real estate investor? And so what he would do is he would have you come on board, and the first thing he would do, because he told you this in his material, he would say, if you want to be a real estate partner of ours, an investing partner, then we have to run your credit. And so they would run the people's credit, and if you have a booming FICO score, he knew one thing. He could go out and raise a couple $100,000 on you. So doesn't that make buying real estate pretty easy? If you have like 20 people that are on your team and they're like, oh my God, I don't have a dime to my name, but I believe in you, and I'm gonna let you raise a couple $100,000 on my credit. You get that, you guys? Does that make sense to you guys? Selling the game, right? So it's not his money any longer. Where does everything lie? So what he would do is, let's say they had raised, they would truly go out and find the best deals that they could find, right? For Thomas Kish was in Vegas. I don't know where he's at now, but so they would raise and find the best deals that they could find. But they would have these people that were actually funding the deals, and so what would happen is he would say to them, and I learned this not from talking to him. I would go on his calls that he used to have, but I learned it because it's in his material. He would tell you point blank. So he would literally have these people with their good credit, put all their money together, tell them point blank, we're going to take $50,000 and put it aside so that we know all the payments are being made. Does that make sense? So they would know, hey, all the payments are being made on all the credit cards that we've gotten for you. We're going to take the rest of that money and we're going to put it over here into this new property investment that we have. We're going to rehab it, we're going to sell it, and then you're going to get your piece of the pie, right? You're going to get your money back plus your piece of the pie. Does it make sense, y'all? Why can't you do that with other businesses? It doesn't have to be real estate. Why can't you do that with any other thing that you want to do that you don't have the money to finance personally? Does that make any sense to you guys? If somebody needs to make a comment, somebody needs to say something, because I'm giving you guys gold, right? And if you don't make any comments, you don't say something. Okay,
can you hear
cool.
Me?
I can hear you. I can hear you well.
Yes, hey Pascal, this is Pat Nash. I'm out of Dallas, but I'm driving now, and I had background noise, so I'm just listening. Great
Okay, cool.
information and great ideas. It sounds so doable. So I appreciate it.
Well, the thing is, Pat, it's it is extremely doable. You know why? Because it's simple. And see, we, including me, right? We always make stuff so difficult that it becomes undoable.
I agree.
And as long, do you know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, this is real talk. Every time I've made something difficult in my existence, it's always been harder to make it happen. Every time Pascal Dominique Mansell, have made something difficult in my life, it's always been harder to accomplish. But every time that, just out of sheer necessity, I've just run into something and just, oh my God, I gotta, I need to raise a couple $1,000. I need to do this. I need to take care of, whatever it is. Amazingly, it is at its most simplistic, because that's what I need it to be, and I just do it because I have to make it happen. Does that make sense? So, and I tell people that, and I say this all the time, the people that I have trained, that have paid me good solid money to train them and teach them, the ones that are in their most desperate state tend to do the best. I had a young lady, complete utter piece of shit human being, right? But I will tell you one thing that I give her credit for is that when I met her, she was in a homeless shelter with her and her babies. And she called me up to get a CPN so that they could get a place, right? Because it was a woman's shelter that she was in. So she called me up so that she can, get a CPN. Somebody had told her about me. So long story short, she got the CPN, and then subsequently, I taught her the game. I was like, well, look, because of your situation, I'm going to give you some information that you can take and sell, right, which is the CPN thing. You got to come and get your CPNs from me, so because, I got to get something out of it, right? But you know what? I'm going to teach you how to do this. And realistically, to do this, all you need to do is sell the instructions that I'm selling you and then give them a number for free, which obviously you're going to get from me to give them for free. Well, this young lady, her name was Demetrius, a complete piece of crap human being. She, in less than 6 months, made well over $100,000 and just blew me away, right? Because she was in a situation that required her not to think. This is very key, you guys. She was in a situation that required her not to think, but just to do. Does that make sense to you guys? When you place yourself in a scenario where you gotta just do, something works, you can't sit up and just go, oh my God, what am I gonna do? You can't think anymore. You just gotta move forward. You just gotta, start taking action. You gotta start pushing forward, making things happen. And that's what she did, right? She knew it worked for her because she was able to get into a place. And so she said, oh my God, if I can do that, I got to do this. I can raise money. So she literally went out and talked to every person she could about doing this thing, collecting her monies. And then, I taught her the Tradeline business, right? Because she was bringing me money. She was making money not just for me, but quite a bit for herself, because I was giving her love pricing on the whole CPN thing. So, long story short, she made a lot of money, and she started getting to the point where she took a book that I've given away to plenty of people, and I've also had plenty of people go buy it, which is the book Good Credit is Sexy. She took that book, she read everything. She read everything. And then she started, once she got herself looking a little right, she went out, got a little bit of clothing so she could go talk to people. Started going around to car lots and banks and, talking to the lenders, making friends. Hey, I do credit repair, and if you have people that are trying to buy a car and their credit's bad, send them my way. I'll give you a little kickback. That's what she would tell the salesman at the car lots. I'll give you a little kickback if their credit's bad, and then they'll come back to you to buy a car. Because she was in a state of desperation. So there was no, I don't know. I don't know if I should go and talk to these people. There was none of that. She just said, I got to do this. Does that make sense? We get in our own way. I get in my, oh my God, I get in my own way. I do it regularly. Can I say that word right? I do it regularly. You know what I mean? And the reason I do it is because I start overthinking things. Even though I know for a fact that if I notice something to be true, I should just act upon it. But, my humanness gets in the way, right? And I start just going, oh, well, you know what? Maybe I should do that later. And then I allow my laziness to get in the way, right? And there's a quote by a person that most of you probably won't know because he's dead and gone. But there used to be a motivational speaker by the name of Zig Ziglar, and Zig Ziglar used to always say, it's basically it's bullshit to think that people wake up in the morning and they're just crazy motivated, right? Motivation comes from the doing of a thing. And then when you're in that thing, you become motivated to do it. And so the example he used to use is that, he was out of shape. He needed to lose some weight. Didn't want the pills that his doctor was giving him. He lived in Texas near one of the universities. And so he said that what he would do is he would just get out and, the grounds of the campus at this university were beautiful. And he would just start jogging slowly but surely around the campus of the university. And he said when he would first put on his shoes, when he would first get to the campus, he hated the fact that he had to get up and go do this crap. He hated the fact that he had to, start the jog. But he said once he started jogging and once his mind became free of the thought of the oh my God, I gotta do this jogging crap. Once he became free of that and started doing the thing, and then your mind starts racing with all these other things, you start just becoming clear and just, once he got to that point, he said it was just he became motivated. He became motivated to complete the jog. Does that make sense to you guys? So we all of us have to understand that we have to do the thing. We have to stay motivated in the motivation comes in the do. And when you put all these things together that I'm talking about, you understand that you, not somebody else for you, but you have to start. I don't give a shit what the business is. You got to start. You got to do something. And if you don't have the funding, then you got to start thinking about how am I going to get my funding. If you have bad credit, you can't do it on your own, well, then start finding business partners, funding partners. I told you the story of Thomas Kish just 2 moments ago. You got to say, what is it that I can do right here, right now to get what I want to get? I've already basically given you the game. as far as, how to set yourself up to get money, right? And here's the thing. It's not only how to set you up, but if you find a business partner that has good credit, they might not have a dime to their name, but if they have good credit, I've already told you about future casting. I'm giving you the game, right? I've told you, future cast. Why would you say that you're making, a lot of the money that's out there right now, not some, not all, but a lot of it out there, they're not even requiring much of anything. In other calls, I've told you guys about SunTrust Bank. They have a division which is called LifeStream. I've told you all about that. We've had clients that have raised $85,000 from them, $85,000, and I'm just going to tell you, they damn sure didn't have what they put down as their earnings. And I'm not telling you, create false documentation. I'm not saying do any of that. But as a rule of thumb, I mean, it does happen, but as a rule of thumb, anybody on this call that has ever filled out an application for a credit card, how many times have you had to submit any documentation other than what's on that credit card? I mean, on that application? Anybody? Anybody have to submit extra documentation? Now I'd mention to say no one on this call, and if you have, it's a rarity.
I'm here. This is Kimberly. My phone went out a couple of times, but I heard a lot of stuff that you said. I'm very interested.
Okay. So, but there has to be something. But as a rule of thumb, that's why I didn't say never. But as a rule of thumb, it doesn't happen, right, you guys? As a rule of thumb, it doesn't happen. So because it's stated income, and so everything is stated. So there are places where you can go get loans from that are just requiring picture of your social, back and front of your driver's license, and a couple of paycheck stubs, and they're giving out money just for that. There are credit cards. So one of my students, who's also he's a business person. He does what I do. He paid me my $5,000 just so he could learn the game, and now he's out selling it himself, which a lot of people do with me, and that's good. That's great. I don't mind that. As a matter of fact, I love it. So this young man, on his first go, when he applied for credit, he was able to get a $45,000 Chase Inc. card, right? Chase Inc. for business card. $45,000. And it took him a few months to get there because he had some things on his credit. He's actually in the credit repair business, but like a lot of us, in business doing something, we might do hair and, have a hair shop, have the crappiest hair in the world because we don't have time to do our own hair because we're working on other stuff. Or be a mechanic and have the raggediest car because we're working on other people's cars. And by the time you finish working on their stuff, you don't feel like working on your own, And so, he had a few things he needed to do on his credit, and he added a trade line or two. But after that, his credit was golden. And he applied for, structuring it the way I explained to him. He applied for and subsequently got a $45,000 card. So he got that card, and he got another card. And the other card, honestly, I'd have to look and see what he got on the other card because I really don't recall. But, there's so much out here, you all. And I'm not saying I know it all. That's why I'm still paying people to learn their game. I would be such a lying ass if I told you all that I know all of it. I know what to do, when to do, and how to do it. I don't. But what I can say is I would venture to say that I know more than you all do, right? And if I don't, fantastic, good for you. But I know more than you all do, and so I'm just trying to impart what I know to you all, and I'm hoping that you all would then subsequently take that knowledge, go out and research it, and then start imparting it to other people. And I'm not saying you got to do it for free. Charge people for your knowledge, right? That's what I do. But I'm just saying, there's no need to just hold this crap in and just share it, because the truth of the matter is, one of the reasons I don't mind teaching this stuff is because it makes me learn to teach. The best way to learn something is to teach it. That is the oldest saying ever, and it is one of the truest things ever. The best way to learn something is to teach it, because it forces you into having to know it better. It's just a fact. So look, it's 10:04. Unless somebody has a specific question, I try to keep this between 9 and 10. I'm really hoping that you guys are, getting something from these calls. Because I'm really trying to give you guys like legitimate, actionable information. It's just even the people I have come on the calls, the handful of guests that I've had come on the calls, I tell them before they even come on the call, look, dude, don't sell shit, none of that. If you can't come on the call and just give up real information, then don't even bother. Just tell me now, because I don't want this to be about, I'm gonna tell you so much, then I'm gonna tell you some more. It's not that kind of party. This is literally, I'm trying to, give you all some of the best stuff that I have in my head. But I will tell you, for those of you that come on these calls, if you don't ask me any questions, it's shame on you. Shame on you. Because this is the time to get so much, because I'm willing to give it. So that's it. So I'm about to get off this phone unless somebody has a question for me. So does anyone have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. But
Okay,
for
go
the
ahead.
Sunbank,
I'm sorry,
yeah, how do you go about getting loans to them? Is it like, is there a
getting
simple as
loans
the
from
ID?
getting loans from whom?
From Sun something Bank.
Okay. It's a division there's a division of SunTrust Bank, and it's called Lightstream, and they have loans for everything you can think of. They give out loans for to work on your house. They give out loans to get married. They give out loans for ridiculous stuff. They tell you that on their website. I don't know if you all remember when Joy was on the line, a young lady I do business with. Her sister was able to get 3 separate loans from them back to back. 3.
Wow.
And that utterly amazed me, because it's a rarity for an institution to give you 3 different loans. I mean, it took me aback, because they gave her sister. Her sister's credit is pristine, though. I'm sorry?
Was it personal loans or business?
Personal. These are all personal.
Okay. Well, see, I want to do what you're doing. I want to get this knowledge that you're giving me. And, I'm always giving stuff away for free. And, I mean, my mother always told me the game is sold, not told. So I respect people that sell stuff. I respect people that sell stuff. And I really feel like now that you're saying it, too, I feel like it's a confirmation that I need to start selling, things. And I feel like you are one of the best people out here to teach the game. I really do. And
thank you.
I've been following you. I've been following you since I think 2010, maybe either 2010 or 2014. And I feel like I could have went to a lot of people, to gain knowledge and to find somebody to mentor me. But I just felt like you was the best, and I still feel that way. I feel like because your main thing is prosperity, and for somebody to want everybody to prosper, that say a lot about who you are. And why would I want to be under anybody else? Some people just want the money. You don't care. Just give me the money. I want to do this. You literally show that you care about, what you're teaching and that you believe in it. And just like, the other day when I asked you, I was about to go through the one company and you was like, no. And because you said no, I didn't do it because I felt like, hey, he's saying no for a reason, so I'm not going to do it, and I can appreciate that, so doing our little sessions or whatever, I got a lot of questions, but I did want to just go ahead and say what I needed to say now about the loan thing because I didn't want to forget it. But my main goal is really to get business credit. And now that you're speaking about how the gentleman paid you to teach him the game, I want to get like a business loan so that I can pay you that money right there up front so that I can do what I got to do.
Not a problem. We can talk about that later on. But anyway, and thank you for all those awesome comments. I feel like I need to send you a check now for
no. That's for the truth. Well, I mean, not This is. But I'm in like playing, baby. I ain't going nowhere. I'm stuck with you.
I appreciate that. Does anyone else have any questions before I get off the phone? Okay. All right. So thank you, everybody. I'm glad you all came on this call. I hope that you all learned something. So this call is over. Take care, everybody.
Okay. Okay. Till next week.
Thank you. All right. Absolutely. All right. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.